In the small town of Dover, Massachusetts, life had always been peaceful and uneventful. That is until the spring of 1977, when a creature unlike anything anyone had ever seen before made its presence known. It was late on a Friday night when a group of teenagers were driving down a back road in Dover. They were laughing and joking, enjoying their freedom from school and the monotony of everyday life. Suddenly, the car's headlights caught something moving in the woods off to the side of the road. At first, they thought it was a deer or a bear, but as they got closer, they realized that it was something else entirely. The creature was about 4 feet tall and had an elongated, narrow head. Its eyes glowed like two bright orbs in the darkness, and its body was thin and lanky, almost skeletal in appearance. The teenagers were terrified, but they couldn't look away from the creature. It seemed to be staring at them, almost as if it was studying them. After what felt like an eternity, the creature turned and disappeared into the woods. The teenagers were shaken but convinced that what they had seen was real. They reported the sighting to the local authorities, who initially dismissed it as a prank or a case of mistaken identity. But then, something else happened. The following night, another teenager was walking home from work when he saw the same creature. He described it as having a large, round head, long arms with bony fingers, and legs that bent backward like a goat's. He too reported the sighting to the authorities, but they still refused to take it seriously. It wasn't until the third sighting that the town began to realize that something strange was happening. This time, it was a young man who was driving through a wooded area in Dover when he saw the creature. He said that it was walking along the side of the road, and that he could see its glowing eyes and skeletal body clearly in the darkness. The local media got wind of the sightings and began reporting on them, fueling the already intense speculation about the creature's identity. Some people believed that it was an extraterrestrial being, while others thought that it might be a previously undiscovered species of animal. Despite the growing attention, the creature continued to elude capture or even a clear photograph. Some people even began to wonder if the sightings were hoaxes or hallucinations brought on by stress or fatigue. But the people who had seen the creature knew that it was real. They knew that it was something that couldn't be explained away by conventional means. They formed groups to search for the creature, hoping to capture it and prove to the world that they weren't crazy. One group, led by a man named Bill Bartlett, set out into the woods armed with flashlights and cameras. They combed the area for hours, but they found nothing. Just as they were about to give up and head back to town, they heard a rustling in the bushes. The group froze, their flashlights trained on the spot where the noise had come from. Suddenly, the creature emerged from the foliage. It was just as they had described it, a thin, skeletal body, long arms with bony fingers, and eyes that seemed to glow in the darkness. Bill Bartlett raised his camera and snapped a photo, hoping to finally capture proof of the creature's existence. But as he did, the creature vanished into thin air, leaving behind only a faint glow where it had been standing. The photo that Bartlett had taken was grainy and indistinct, but it was enough to convince many people that the Dover demon was real. It became the talk of the town, with people from all over coming to Dover to try and catch a glimpse of the creature for themselves. The Dover demon became a cultural phenomenon, with news outlets from all over the country covering the sightings and speculating about the creature's origin. Some people claimed that it was an extraterrestrial being, while others believed that it was a demon that had been summoned by a group of teenagers playing with a Ouija board. The town of Dover was inundated with reporters and curious onlookers, and the people who had seen the creature were treated like minor celebrities. But despite all of the attention, no one was ever able to capture the creature or explain its true identity. Over time, the sightings of the Dover demon tapered off, and eventually, the creature faded into obscurity. But for the people who had seen it, the memory of that strange, otherworldly creature would stay with them forever. Years later, As people looked back on the events of that spring in 1977, some still believed that the Dover demon was a real creature that had somehow found its way into the town. Others dismissed the sightings as a mass hallucination or a hoax perpetrated by bored teenagers. But for the people who had seen the creature up close, there was no doubt that the Dover demon was a real entity that defied explanation. They had seen something that was beyond their understanding, and no amount of skepticism or scientific analysis could change that. In the end, the mystery of the Dover demon remained unsolved, and the creature became just another footnote in the annals of paranormal lore. But for the people who had been there, who had seen the creature with their own eyes, the memory of that strange, glowing identity would stay with them forever, a reminder that there are still mysteries in this world that are beyond our comprehension.